Bryan. Thanks for joining us on Funnel Vision podcast. Excited to have you here chat about sales and your expertise, tips, and tricks of the trade for a community of sales professionals. So, first question: what's your go-to tactic that you swear by for building long-lasting relationships with your clients and your network and like your total secret weapon?
The secret weapon, and I'm in more relational B2B sales, is an actual client-centric approach, right? Actually connecting with people, because there's a lot of salespeople out there that fake it, right? And prospects can tell. And and it goes with the whole like saying of nobody wants to be sold, everybody wants to buy. And I've had people tell me, like, hey, Brian, like, I don't feel like I'm being sold right now. Like, and I'm like, yeah, perfect, right? Like, because there's a difference between thinking, saying you're client centric and actually being client centric.
Yeah, totally agree. It's all about the total relationship as well,
Mhm.
like having that authentic
Yeah,
relationship.
totally.
What's the best piece of sales advice you've received that shaped your philosophy and who did it come from?
It came from a longtime mentor, now friend. His name is Brian Marshall. He's been super successful. I did mentoring in sales with him for a while, and the best advice he gave me was stop trying to sell. because because when you do that, you create an awkward, well, a couple things. One, you create an awkward interaction with a prospect, right? Because nobody wants to be sold, everybody wants to buy, and uh, prospects expect you to show up one way, and when you show up a different way, they open up, they trust you, and it's like they start selling you on working with them.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. It does. It flips it around and it
Mhm.
just makes the, interaction more like we like said authentic and, kind of get rid of the canned sales scripts and just have real conversations.
Yeah, because prospects, it's in sales, a prospect or a customer comes to the table with a salesperson with their guard up, right? I'm doing everything to try to break down that guard because if you're not transparent with me and I'm not transparent and truthful with you, I can't help you, right? You can't get the help that you're looking for. So I have to knock that. I have to. I have to knock that dynamic off. It's kind of like this, like when you walk into a store, what do you say what do you say to the salesperson when they say to you, "How can I help you?"
I'm good, thanks.
Exactly. You're lying. You're lying. And then you walk over to the thing you went there to buy, you pick it up and you buy it, right? Like that's the
Totally.
dynamic I'm trying to get around all the time.
Yeah. Oh, very true. Like I always, it's always like, I'm good. I'm good. Even if I
Yep.
need help, like I'll come to you when I need help.
Exactly. There you
Yeah.
go. There you
That's
go.
exactly right. What's the best investment a salesperson can make?
I would say continually investing in themselves. Growth in sales is a complete personal growth journey, right? Like uh, you have to change I don't know, not constantly. To get to once you hit one level of your goals, you have to change to get to the next level. So I would say always investing in yourself. I've had a coach, mentor, did some training, invested in myself since the minute I actually entered sales, and I've been in sales probably 25 years, 24 years.
Yeah. What types of things can people do to invest in themselves? Like reading books, getting out there.
Yeah, reading books, mentorship, uh, uh, and okay, money and time. I want to be clear about this, right? Money and time. Like put yourself around people that you can trust that will tell you the things that you need to hear and tell you your blind spots, right? I keep people around me that sometimes they're like, "Hey, you're not noticing this," and it may be painful at times, but it's the best advice that I get, right? Because change and improvement is not easy and it's not comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Having that great network
Oh,
is
totally.
is key. And what's one thing that you think a salesperson should stop doing immediately? You kind of said before, like stop selling,
Stop
but
doing immediately. Um, uh, uh, Well, I'll say it this way. It's like start doing. Never pass up the opportunity to shut up. Uh, and here's what I mean by that is most buyers think that salespeople don't listen to them and talk too much. There was a mentor of mine that I had for a couple of years that he and a group of sales consultants went to all their clients, and something like 78% of their clients, the business owners, said that most salespeople don't listen to them. Right, so it's like that, if you come to the table not listening to me, I'm not going to trust you. Right, I've sold a lot by not talking.
That's the best. That's it. That's it. Exactly. What should salespeople stop doing immediately? Stop talking.
Stop talking. Stop
Start
talking.
listening.
Start listening. Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. And it's not always like intuitive to do that. Like people, salespeople want to talk. We want to tell people about what we do and how we do it and how we're different. But if you don't know the client's problem and their issue and what their like core thing is that they're looking for, whatever you're saying doesn't make a difference. You
Doesn't
need to
matter.
know let them talk and expose their problems.
Yeah, yeah. I tell all my clients I live by this principle, and they should too. Prospect will tell you exactly what to offer them and how to offer it to them, as long as you are listening, asking questions, and curious. And the only talking part of that is asking questions, right? So because then I can form a highly relevant offer or request.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I totally agree. What's one piece of advice that you got in that you wish you had gotten earlier in your career, and how can aspiring salespeople apply that today?
Sales is not about me. It's about the prospect. Uh, I wish I learned that early on, because it would have taken one, a lot of pressure off of me, and two, it would have left a better impact on the people that I interacted with in sales. I didn't get that advice until I met my buddy Brian Marshall, probably 10 years into my career in sales, right? And it would have been completely different. I would have doubled or tripled the money I made if I had gotten that advice.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely agree with you. And it's so important. It's not about you. Like we've said, kind of a theme through our conversation here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
about you. It's about them. You need to be
Yep.
listening. You need to be, understanding and everything else. So who do you look up to?
Oh, who do I look up to? Oh man, that's a great question. Shoot. People who have uh, people who have gotten to where I want to go, because I always ask them like, "Hey, how'd you do that?" Right? I take advice and influence from people who are either broke through the problems I broke through, or are at where I aspire to be.
Hmm.
And many times that's people who've been through really hard things, right? I respect people who've been through really hard things, because and got and made it out on the other end.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think too, it's about in what you're saying and finding those people is as your sales career grows, finding that right network of
Yeah.
people that you can look up to. So
Hmm.
people that are where you are right now, where you can share your problems and struggles with, but also have those people that have made it to the next step
Yep.
so that you have them. And that kind of changes for who those people are throughout your career and as you grow.
Well said. It does, right? It's not static. I had a buddy of mine who was a mentor for a little bit say, this is really wise information for me. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to help you now, but you're going to outgrow me. Like I'm not going to be helpful to you, right?" And I was like, "Wow, that's great." Like, and it changed how I kind of moved through the world and looked for help, looked up to people. And it's not that he's worthless to me. It's just he wanted me, that the one thing with him, he wanted me to be greater than him. And at some point in time, he's like, "Hey, you're just going to have to go find somebody else. Like, you're only going to get as far as I am. If you want to go farther, you need to go find somebody else." And I just thought that was humble, sage advice.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant advice, and it is exactly that. It's humble, knowing that you need to take it to the next step, and that's in even in like athletes, they can
Oh
only
yeah.
get so far with their coach, and then they
Yep.
know they need to get to to get to the next level. They need that
Yep.
next level coach too. So
Totally. 100%.
definitely agree. So Bryan, tell us, who are you? Where can we find you? What do you do? And all about you.
Yeah, so I own a business with some partners called onPurpose Growth. Uh, it's a coaching and consulting firm in sales. On the consulting side, we're doing fractional sales leadership and consulting. On the coaching side, which I run, is I'm working with people who have ambitious yearly or multi-year revenue goals. I help them actually hit or exceed those goals. And I work a lot of times with solopreneurs, fractionals, consultants, people who are experts at the thing that they do, but sales is this foreign thing. They either develop an expertise in corporate America and now they're serving small and medium-sized business owners, or they're in corporate America and they need to sell and serve. And I just help them learn an approach in sales that feels comfortable, authentic, and is effective. Uh, and anybody can find us at onpurposegrowth.com, or I have my own personal website, McDonald Bryan with a Y.com. That's all my social media handles is McDonald Bryan because somebody stole Bryan McDonald. That's all.
Well, thank you, Bryan, with a Y, for coming on. Appreciate your time and great conversation. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks. This is great.